Hello, Facebook Live.
Hi everybody, it's Jamie and Marcus here.
What's going on?
Hope everybody is having a great day.
We are in Georgia, outside of Atlanta, Georgia, about an hour outside of Atlanta, Georgia, up north towards Chattanooga. But we're in Georgia. It is hot here.
It is really hot.
Really hot.
It's early and it's hot.
You know, the one thing I don't understand is when they say, oh, it's 84 degrees, but it feels like 93.
Well, why isn't it just 93?
Why is it just 93? It feels like 93. It's 93 to me. Why isn't it just 93?
Yeah.
So we're at a school here today. Justin's playing baseball, getting ready to take the field. We're at a big baseball tournament. Wanted to talk today about when is how young chefs. We've hired a lot of people over the years. I've worked with a lot of young chefs, worked with a lot of older chefs.
Well, you answered a forum question, right?
I did the other day.
Yes.
And the question was, I think it was like a 19-year-old kid asked, I just got my first sous chef job, need some advice.
Okay.
And you saw my answer, right?
Yeah, what did you say? You talked about
I was like,
being too early?
Way too young to take a sous chef job at 19.
As you were just talking about all this, I was thinking about an example of baseball and sous chef, like how you can compare them, right? Like you don't just walk onto a field, right, and just know how to play.
Right.
You don't just walk out there and be able to pitch. It takes a lot of training to get to where you need to be. And I think that was kind of what you were talking about in your answer.
It was.
So tell a little bit about
So this 19-year-old
your
kid
answer.
said, I just got my first sous chef job, give me some advice. And I said, my answer was, I'm going to be honest with you right now, way too young to take a sous chef job. Your goal right now is to go learn, work many places, and
get experience.
That's your goal right now. And a lot of people are caught up in the titles. And I do career day every year at our local school. I go talk to 8th graders about their career paths, and I go as the culinary expert, the chef. But I don't really talk much about food or cooking. I talk about good ethics and morals and what to do as far as having a career in whatever you choose to do. And the first thing I do is I take out my phone out of my pocket, and I say, your goal in 20 years is to be able to call every single past employer that you've had and get your job back. That's your goal. Don't burn bridges. And I have a whole system for that I talk about on some of my videos and in our academy on how I progress through the culinary field. So, but at 19 years old, if you're a sous chef and you're giving orders out to other people, you better know your stuff.
You need to know, and you have to have the experience to be able to know how to deal with situations, or else you're going to get frustrated, and your employees are going to get frustrated, or the people underneath you are going to get frustrated, and it's not going to work well together.
No. Every time that we hire somebody in a management role or a supervisor role in the kitchen or something, I'm like, your goal is to work with the other staff. You need management skills, you need people skills, you need to be able to work with the other staff. You may be able to know a bunch of stuff and do a bunch of stuff yourself, but you have to get other people to do it. So at 19 years old, now the kid could have 6 years experience. He could be cooking when he was 13. Doubtful that he's been in a kitchen professionally cooking at 13 years old. And honing his skills for the last 6 years. When I was 21, a chef had told me, Marcus, it's going to take you another decade to truly find your style of food. Keep working at places. This was my mentor, Peter Timmons at the Greenbrier. He goes, Marcus, it's going to take you another decade till you're 30 years old to understand what style of food is yours and what you can truly call yours. It's not like you can just walk into a restaurant or cook food and say, this is mine right now at your age. It doesn't work like that. And at the time, I didn't believe him, right? I was like, well, I know I like good food. I like French food. I like this. And it wasn't until I was 29 years old, where my calling came and I realized what I was truly after in the food world. And that's how I've been for the last 15, 16 years on that same mission and path. And it changed drastically at 29 years. I came home the one day and you told me I was ruining my career because I was changing my cooking style.
At that point, I thought you were.
Right? You're just like, you're ruining your career. I'm like, no, I'm doing a lot more than... I'm saving my career. I'm looking to the future. I'm catching a wave. This is a healthier way for me and you, the family and the earth. And look at it now. What we do.
Oh my gosh, it's what people aspire to do with their families, in their restaurants, and in themselves, right?
Right. So that statement was ever so true that Peter Timmons told me. It's going to take you a good decade to find your true style. Now, at 19 years old, first of all, if you're that young some questions I would have loved to have asked them, because sous chef can be a misleading position, because if it's a two-man kitchen, like when I was 19 years old, I was cooking at a place where there was only two of us in the kitchen, and the chef left, and they called me the chef. I was getting paid like $7.50 an hour to run the kitchen.
That was a long time ago.
And that just, they called me the chef because I was the one who was last man standing.
Put that on your resume.
But I could have at that point at 19, 21 years old said, okay, I am the chef, and I know that I'm going to go out and get more chef jobs as the executive chef, as the boss, and this and that. But I didn't. What did I do?
You went and you worked and you got experience working for free at restaurants because you wanted to learn and grow.
Right.
So you were looking for opportunities to make you a better chef and to make you a better.
I actually demoted myself. I demoted myself from the so-called chef of this kitchen, doing 30 covers, sometimes 45 covers, 50 covers the most, and it was lunch and dinner. It wasn't even really lunch. It was just weekend lunch buffet and dinners that had prime rib with a baked potato. We didn't even serve vegetables. This is how, so my question as 19-year-old is, what kind of establishment? Is it you and the chef, or are you actually in charge of 5 or 6 people? They're reporting to you.
Right.
And to get respect from the people reporting to you at 19 years old is very, very tough. A lot of young people, when they're in that position, they force their way for respect. They become very authoritative, almost dictator-like, because I'm the one in charge and you have to listen to me. Not like I know my stuff and I'm gonna get the respect from you the right way. So a lot of young people, that happens to a lot of young people. They get in these positions where they don't earn the respect. They demand the respect from the people that report to them. It doesn't work like that at all. So at 19 years old, I said, okay, I only spent like 6 or 8 months there as the so-called chef of this place. I didn't even put it on my resume a couple years after because I knew that it was such insignificant experience. And what I did was I demoted myself. I went and took a line cook job for the same amount of pay. Back then, $7.50 an hour was, my minimum wage was only $6.50 an hour back then. So I went and demoted myself to a line cook job. Then I showed up to the Broadmoor in Colorado Springs, and I didn't even call it an interview. I just sent him a letter, the chef, Ziggy Eisenberger, and said, hey, I'll be in Colorado. I'd love to come take a tour of a 5-star kitchen, this and that. And he gave me a tour, spent like 45 minutes with me, and then he offered me a job. And that's how I got the job at the Broadmoor. I didn't apply for a job. I applied for a tour. And I said my ultimate goal was to get a job.
Right.
That was my goal. I'm going to Colorado. I'm going to go there. I'm going to fly out there. I want to work at the Broadmoor. But I didn't call it an interview. I said I want to take a tour of the kitchen. And I walked through, and of course I had my resume on me, like a good student, a good person. And walked around 45 minutes with him. He showed me the whole place. And it was actually far better than an interview, because an interview they would have sent me to human resources.
Right.
Filled out an application, never gotten to meet the chef, but now I got to meet the chef personally. Personal tour, 45 minutes, sat down with him in his office, and he offered me the job, and then I had to go to HR and go through the formalities of that whole thing. So, but I literally took this job for, I don't even know what I got paid there, maybe $8 an hour. I have no idea. They gave me housing, which was cool. But I literally took a job and demoted myself now to the Broadmoor, which I was a line cook at, and of course not the chef at a small place doing 30 covers anymore. So, Justin playing first base?
Justin's playing first.
First base. He usually plays center field, but he's pitcher. He wants to be pitcher only.
Yeah.
So, I told the chef my main goal was to work in every restaurant in the place, every facility in the place over a year. I said, I called it a year internship. I said, I'll come intern for you for a year. And my school didn't even have an internship. So again, I made that up. I was like, my goal was to learn. Instead of taking a line cook job in a specific restaurant there, I said, I'm wanting an internship to rotate stations. And I worked at pastry shop. I worked at butcher. I worked the Penrose Room. I worked Charles Court. I worked like 4, 5, 6 different places. And it was awesome. I got all that experience, but I knew I needed that experience. Now again, this is a year after the fact that I was appointed chef at a place that I knew being a chef at was nothing to brag about. So when you're a sous chef, the person who's a sous chef at 19 years old, is the place really a place to brag about? Like if you went somewhere else and told them I worked there, would they respect that place? Would they, would people say, oh wow, you worked there? That's a great place. At 19 years old, to get a sous chef job at a place like that, probably not happening. So I went to the Broadmoor, then I went to the Greenbrier, worked at the Greenbrier. But then after the Greenbrier, what did I do? Remember what I did? I went to London.
I thought you did that before. Nope, yep, you're right. The Greenbrier, then London. You worked for free.
Worked for free for Pierre Kaufman.
Yes.
From La Tante Claire. So,
I can hold this, and let's just say thank you to everybody for watching right now. We have a few people on, so thank you for watching. If you're watching this live, I'll put hashtag live in the comments. If you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay. And what advice would you give to a young chef or a young person, and leave a comment, right?
Yeah.
What advice would you give? So we're back to London. We're in London. You worked for free.
I worked for free. So where I was working at the Greenbrier, Peter Timmons, my mentor, said, Mark, you should go work overseas. And I said, that would be fantastic. I'd love to work overseas. So of course France was an option, except I didn't speak French. And he goes, Marcus, this food scene in London right now is fantastic. Mid-90s, you have Nico Ladenis, you have the Roux brothers, La Gavroche, you have Paul Gaylor, you have Marco Pierre White at MPW, moving into the Oak Room. You have La Tante Claire, Pierre Kaufman. You have all these choices of these Michelin 2- and 3-star restaurants, and they speak English, or English is the language, and you can cook this amazing French food for some of these world-class chefs. And he goes, but Marcus, there's one problem. They're not going to pay you to go there. No. They have staff begging to work there. They have staff staging, which the stage is called. You work for free at a place. People stage here left and right. So if you want to go, I'll make the call to Pierre Kaufman. I will call Pierre Kaufman personally, but you're going to be working for free. And I said, okay, no problem. I'll go for free. So we went for 6 months.
We did.
Worked for free for 6 months for Kaufman. Did some work for Anton Mazman. Did some work for Paul Gaylor at the Lanesboro. And got some amazing experience. So working for free for 6 months for Pierre Kaufman did more than being a chef at 19 years old at a place that did 30, 40 covers that nobody even knows about.
Right. Being
the head chef there, so-called head chef.
Having that on your resume, having that experience.
Having that experience of La Tante Claire, people don't even care what I did there. Just the fact that I was there and I saw it and I experienced it and I can talk about it. Nobody was like, oh, well, tell me like what your day was like and this and that. You know, you bust your butt when you work for these guys. Yeah. You know, it's amazing. The discipline that these kitchens have. And he had 15 cooks. Kaufman had 15 cooks for 55 covers. Crazy. That was it. The largest seat you could have, largest table you could have is 6 top.
In Marco Pierre White's book, he talks about how many, like 16 chefs or something?
Cooking 70 dinners.
Cooking 70 dinners.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The attention to detail, the intricacy, the amount of prep work, the stuff that's done fresh every day is insane in kitchens like that. At the Greenbrier, we did 90 to 120 covers, and we had 7 guys cooking, 5, 6, 7 guys in the tavern room at the Greenbrier, which was an amazing experience as well. So, the name of the game when you're a chef, young chef, 19, 20, 25, 30, is to gain experience. Gain experience. Don't get caught up in the title. Don't get caught up in the title at all. Get caught up in what are you going to learn from the places you work. That's the name of the game. And so to a 19-year-old that's taking a sous chef job, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it for the money.
I don't know what just happened.
Somebody got hit by the pitch.
Okay.
So that's why he's on first base.
You got
to buy something. So, this is an amazing industry, the restaurant industry, and I've had a lot of fun being in the industry and cooking all over the world. And but again, sorry, we've got this game going on. Justin's playing. Oh, nice. Justin's playing first base. He usually plays outfielder, center field,
or distracted there.
He made 2 of the outs in this inning. So, where were we going with this?
So you're just talking about experience.
Get experience.
And so being 19, that's a great...
Even 22.
It's a great accomplishment on your resume, but are you ready for the position?
Are you ready for the position? And I think you're shortchanging yourself.
I think
of calling yourself sous chef, and you need to go work other places. When somebody offers you a sous chef job, any one of my mentors, Peter Timmons, Peter Schittler, any of the guys that I worked for, would have said at 19 that you're only cheating yourself, and that and they would advise not taking that job whatsoever, because there's so much to learn and so much to do. So, all right, everybody, we're gonna get back to the game here. We're in Georgia, hot Georgia, It's 85 but feels like 93, or feels like 95 or something that they say like that. Everybody, thank you for tuning in and watching. We appreciate it, and talk to you later.